Okay, so these are wall schedule, and what I did before is place the tags at the 1/8 scale, and I selected each of the partitions, and under the edit type you can change the type mark and many other parameters. All these parameters you can add afterwards to your schedule. Let's say here, hello, so we make sure that that's happening. You can put manufacturer information, model. You can have materials, of course, assembly codes, etc., etc. No? So that gives you these numbers, and then you can right click here, create a new schedule, create a wall schedule as I did here, and include these fields. You can obviously reorganize this as you wish. Some of them don't have a type mark, so let's organize this in order. So to do that, again, you can press any button here because you have these options afterwards, and we want to sort this. So we're going to sort it by the type mark and ascending. You say OK, and the first ones are not going to have any number, as you see. So that means that we can actually place here 7, which is it's going to go at the end. We're going to place here 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So these are all the different types of wall we have. Let me see. 14, 15, 16, 17, and there you go. So as you can see, there are many type mark 1, there are many type mark 2, 3, and probably you guys will have even more options. No? These are the number of times that each partition type has been repeated in the project, which is a lot of times. So this is almost an impossible schedule to place in any sheet. We need to kind of clean this up, no? So different ways of cleaning this up is, for example, by level. We can see that the top constraint or the base constraint, we can choose group all these guys by base constraint, no? So let's do that. Let's go to fields, and in order to group things, it's pretty much sorting and grouping. Okay, we did a ascending sort by type mark, but you can also say to not utilize. This says atomize every instance, and you say OK. Oh, I didn't check it out. Sorry. There you go. Again, under grouping, if you sort by type mark and you uncheck the atomize, that means that all of the ones are grouped together. Now, why this area is not added? That's because we have to go now to the formatting and say, for areas, calculate totals and say OK. And there are the totals for all the areas of type 1 marks. Now, we probably want count, for example. So you can go to field, say count, add, say OK. And this is the number of partitions of type 1 we have. Type 2, these are probably because we copy them. We have 753 different type 2, which I believe is the one-sided Jimson board, no? We place in many teams. We also need to add the widths, which you can perfectly do by saying, again, formatting, widths, calculate totals, length, calculate totals, etc., etc. No? So this is a way of cleaning up things, no? If you don't want these two, you can go back to fields and just get rid of those. Remove, remove, say OK. So that could be a quite clean wall schedule, okay? Probably materials should be obviously some other option, or description. You can go to fields and add description. I think we added a description. You can say assemble. I don't remember which ones. You can add a couple of them and see which ones are more interesting to have. Let's say OK. And assembly description is good, and the description is where we place hello. You can actually add your own description for each of the walls. You can just go and start adding description. Is assembly, look at types, wall types, sheets 3 or 4, etc. We probably don't have anything there. We can get rid of assembly name, remove, and description for now. So we can get all this nice information about each of the sheets. Sorry, each of the walls.